Hey guys, what's up? This is GaLm, and welcome to another update video. Today is April 2nd, at least in terms of me recording this, and that means we have gone by with yet another month, and we are even further into the spring gaming season. Oh boy. We have a lot of games coming out. I mean, we already have a lot of games that came out, that most of which we haven't touched on. We had Far Cry Primal I still need to get around to, Twilight Princess HD that I still need to get around to, I still need to stream more of The Division. I did actually record episode 1 of the Hitman, and Adrift and Hyper Light Drifter. I'm just looking at my list here, but obviously we have to wait for the other games to come out in April, which we will get to all of them hopefully. We have Quantum Break coming out on April 5th. Before that, I'm hoping to finish XCOM 2 and Rise of the Tomb Raider. That's my goal, so I'm trying to finish those two before Quantum Break. And then once I've recorded Quantum Break as well and start posting that, we're probably going to do a bunch of Division streams until I hit like level 30 and I hit that end game stuff. And once I do that, they'll probably end up being around the time that Dark Souls 3 releases or unlocks on Steam, and then we will be playing that. We will be streaming all of Dark Souls 3, or at the very least, all the way up to the ending. We're not going to do anything like New Game Plus, but we will stream Dark Souls 3 probably for a while. It's probably going to end up being like 4 or 5 days. Hopefully not longer than that, because I do have to worry about PAX East, which is like a week after that? Let's see. Yeah, the week after Dark Souls 3 comes out is when PAX East is hitting. So I'm hoping to get all of this stuff done before I head out for PAX East, so that way I don't have to fret or worry about anything. And when we get back to from PAX East, we will continue and try and get other stuff done, such as Uncharted 4 when that comes out on April 26th. Heavy Rain just came out in HD on the PlayStation 4. I need to get around to playing that. Obviously, again, I need to get around to Twilight Princess HD and Far Cry Primal. I think what's going to end up happening, I think there's going to be a lot of games that I end up pushing off until the summer months, and I think during the summer is when we're going to try and get those streams going on. At the very least, in June. I don't know about July, since July there is going to be, you know, there's RTX that I'm still contemplating whether or not I'm going to go. I'm more than likely going to go. And now that when I'm thinking about it. But yeah, we're probably going to be streaming a lot in May, in June, definitely June, so that way I can catch up on all these games that I've been missing out on, particularly the open world games. I feel like I get short games done really fucking fast, right? Like in 2 days, a 4 to 6 to 10 hour game, done, boom, whatever. But a 40-hour game, while that should be done in like 2 weeks, it ends up taking me like 3 to 4 weeks to get it done. Mostly, I guess, because I end up focusing on other stuff as well, because all of a sudden I'm like, well, I've got all this footage, I have time to get other stuff done. Aha! And then we end up not having enough. Although, to be fair, XCOM 2, the episodes are really fucking long, right? So, like, if I record 40 hours, that doesn't mean I have, like with other series, I get 2 or 3 parts per hour. And so if I record 40 parts for another kind of series, that usually ends up being like 80 to 120 parts if I get 40 hours of that recorded. With XCOM, that could end up being like 40 parts or less, and so that's definitely been pretty hard. So I'm glad we're gonna be ending off XCOM 2, because then things can kind of normalize. Then games that I'm recording won't be like, oh, I recorded 4 hours, and that's 4 videos. That's 2 days worth. That's not good. That's a good way to burn myself out. And it has been burning me out quite a lot, but we're gonna be good after I finished. Once I'm done with XCOM 2, we can get Rise of the Tomb Raider, and things can be very normal, even though this is going to be a very rushy kind of period, because I still have other stuff to do, and obviously I have to do multiplayer things, especially with people who are going to be going to PAX East as well. I wouldn't say with me, but as well. They're going to be going to PAX East, and so that means we're all going to be kind of frantically going around and trying to record and stream and do all this stuff, and oh god. It's going to be a hectic April for me. There might be a couple of days where things are on the lower side for videos. I mean, if you've already seen, we already had a couple of days where I didn't really post much over the last couple of days. But that's mostly because of what I said in the last update video, which was that I wasn't really able to get much stuff done while my mother was visiting. So if you missed that update video and then you're sitting there wondering why certain things aren't going up, that's why, because I wasn't able to get as much, like, legitimately, if my mother hadn't come, if my mother hadn't visited, I was actually going to be streaming more of The Division and getting that and more, like, Darkest Dungeon and posting all of that during this week. And I couldn't, because of my mother being here. Also, I am now at the very last second. Now that my mom's gone, she's not visiting anymore. I fucked up my sleeping schedule, so not only do I have to get all this other stuff recorded, but I also got to fix my sleeping schedule so I'm not fucking streaming at like 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. U.S. time when I should be streaming at like 2 p.m. to like 10 p.m. and then falling asleep. It's gonna be an interesting month, so I really do bear with me. We're gonna try and get as much as we can done. There might be some games again that we push off to that June, to that May, where I can kind of play them with a little bit less stress because of other things going on. I mean, there's also, we have like Homefront the Revolution, that's coming out May 17th. I have to finish Homefront, or I have to start and finish Homefront. I think that's like 4 hours, so that's not so bad. Then there's Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I want to do a re-let's play of Mirror's Edge. That's another like 2 to 4 hours. And then Battleborn. I don't know much about Battleborn. I'm gonna have to learn about it. I had a couple offers for it, but I sat there going, I literally just got access to the Overwatch beta, and I don't know what Battleborn is. I think we'll hold off until that comes out in May, and that's exactly what we're doing. Actually, it's funny. Battleborn's coming out in the same month as Overwatch. I don't think they're fully related. Obviously, they're different companies, but I do believe that they are both oriented to multiplayer kind of things. Although I think Battleborn is like a PvE kind of thing with like, you know, players versus enemies, players versus environment, rather than just PvP like Overwatch. But we're gonna be streaming a bunch. We're gonna be streaming a bunch in May and June. But for now, in April, we're gonna try and wrap stuff up. I know I still have to do Fallout 4. I know I still have to do the Fallout 4 DLC that came out, the Assaultron. What the hell? No, Automatron. The Automatron DLC. I do have that, so I need to get around to playing that as well. If I have enough days, I might actually do that stream. I might stream Automatron and the other endings for Fallout 4 after I finish Dark Souls 3. Although, again, it depends on timing. I still have to do taxes. I still have to record other stuff with other people. I still have to edit and render and upload so many things. It's gonna be frantic. One thing I'm gonna try and do to help with productivity is I'm gonna try and probably not have as many series names. Because it's kind of slowing me down, and it's always kind of slowed me down. Sometimes I record a Let's Play, and I don't post it for like a week because I can't think of a name. For like example, Firewatch. I had that recorded and edited and rendered for like an entire week before I posted that, but I couldn't fucking think of a name. Not really because of just creative juice, it's just because procrastination, right? So like I sit there and if I can't think of a name instantaneously, I'm like, I'll think of it later, and then a week passes by, and then 2 weeks pass by, and then it clicks, and I'm like, Walk in the Park, I'll name it that, and then the series starts going up. But a lot of times for other things, we just kind of sit there for a while. For example, we have Hitman. Can't think of a name for Hitman. We have Hyperlight Drifter. Can't think of a name for Hyperlight Drifter. I mean, again, because I haven't really sat down and thought about it, and so that's how come I haven't really had the time to do it. But so we're gonna cut that out. We're not gonna dedicate a day to like think of names, even though I totally could, even though I could think of really nice names, and I probably still will have some things that have series name as long as it clicks. Maybe even someone will comment names on here that I go, ooh, I do like the sound of that. That does jive well with the themes I go for. Otherwise, we're probably just gonna do Let's Play Hyperlight Drifter with GaLm. Let's play Dark Souls 3 with GaLm. Well, actually, no. I think I could think of a really nice name for Dark Souls 3, just because, you know, fire and embers and stuff like that, that would be, I can make that really edgy and something fire related. Ooh. Like a Scorched Knight or some shit. You see what I have a problem, but I need to deal with one thing at a time. So we're gonna try and get our things done. So we're gonna have XCOM 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Adrift, Hyperlight Drifter, Hitman. These are all things that I have recorded. Well, I don't have Rise of the Tomb Raider recorded. I don't have XCOM, the last couple missions for XCOM 2 recorded either. But I do have Adrift and Hyperlight Drifter and Hitman recorded, so I'm gonna have to try and post those. I have more co-op stuff with Fubar that I haven't posted because I can't think of a name for the series. One of those is Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. So if you if you have like nostalgia for the older Tom Clancy Splinter Cell games, that's going to be going up, and you can see us suck at that. Although that's probably going to be a couple weeks away because I also have to post something we recorded like before Dead Space 3. So it's been a while. It's been a couple of months just sitting on my hard drive, fully edited, fully rendered, fully. Sometimes I've uploaded it like 3 different times. I just can't think of a name, and that's very bad of me. That's very bad of me. But we're going to end up here before I ramble and go in circles too many times. Thank you guys for listening. We're going to try and get stuff done. If things fall on the shorter side, I apologize, but the good news is there are going to be days where there might be too much content, and there's always those like 3 to 4 people who go, GaLm, you post too much, I can't keep up with it, and they don't realize you don't have to keep up with it. Do it on your own time. It's better and less stressful that way. I don't know why people try to follow live. I don't know. I'm a big binge watcher. I watch series like a bunch in a row, and so that includes Let's Plays. I'll watch like 3 or 4 episodes of a Let's Play. Even if it's done, I'm not gonna fucking binge watch all of it, but I'll watch a lot of them and then come back another day. Just do that with my series. If I'm posting like 8 videos a day and you can't keep up with it, that's fine. You don't need to be a drone. I say that. There's going to be people who do watch 8 videos a day. You guys are awesome. Don't you worry. There's nothing wrong with having free time. Nothing at all. I make that sound bad. But again, thank you guys for listening. We're going to end off here, and we need to get to work. And I also need to fix my sleeping schedule and do real life things. Oof. Farewell.